Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. Okay, so we did the install on the Silca Futura Codemaker, and then we did a test run and it failed miserably. Since then we've had a few comments, and looks like Ben Wilson might have called it right on this one. That's one of the people who left the last comment, saying that our Instacode is actually different, and it's different in the way that it's different in the way the machines work. So instead of, I'll put this here so I can explain it to you. Instead of marking our distances from the shoulder, which go up like this, they're saying to go from 260, add your next increment, like how far from the first cut to the second cut to the third cut, and so on, as where each time we were measuring from the shoulder. So that makes a little bit of sense. Our key turned out terrible. I think here it is here. So it looks like it found the appropriate depth, but the spacing was completely out. And we also had the problem of, said something about not enough room on the stem. So this is interesting and a little bit frustrating, but I put this video out there to say, look, maybe it was operator error, and I'm going to give it another go and I'm going to see what happens. And if it does work correctly, then obviously it was operator error. The only bad thing then I can say is that maybe they should have had a little help button to do it, because when I go to Codemaker up here, and I'll just put you up here so you can see it, Codemaker, user card management. Now we're in Codemaker, and we've got these ones here which we've already done, so we're going to go back over one of them just to cancel. Let's go back to edit. I cut a key today, and it looked as if they do count from your last cut. So you're not counting from the shoulder, you're actually counting from your last cut. So what Ben was saying looks like it is actually true. The way to actually get your spacing might just be that. So all of this is correct. We'll go next. All of this is correct, so we'll just go next. Our depths, we seem to be okay there, because if you look, it did go down to like a 3 and then take it to a 4. So I'm going to leave them. But if they're wrong, what I'll have here is my first one, which will be 0.50, second one 0.50, and so on. So I'm just going to try it like that and see how we go. See if the spacing is works the same as a lot of other machines. All right, so our first cut here, we've put it 260. Okay, that seemed to be okay. I was scratching my head after cutting this key thinking, how could it go so badly wrong? But looking at it, looks like the first spacing is correct. But where we need to start modifying is at the second one. So let's modify that, and we're going to be measuring from the first cut center to the second cut center, and I've got that down as 230, and it's basically 230 spacing now all the way along. So that could have been the problem. 238, that could have been the problem. Modify. And if that is the problem and it is operator error, well, my bad, my fault. At least other people who are going to use this program will be able to skip the step and making the same mistake that I made. Okay, so now we've got our spacing in there, and we're going to add one more. We're going to add the 6 cut, which was a problem before. We're going to add it as 230, and we're getting no error code there. We're allowed to pick our angles now of 100 degrees. So we're looking a lot better, and I think that Ben, you're on the money there. So let's try it. Next. Okay, save. Okay, so there's our one there. Let's try it. Go to card. Now on this lock which we are doing, which I can just quickly show you here, one of these little tiny locks here, it's got the code on the front, CC0, is that an 8? 0878. So I've converted that with Instacode, and we're getting the cuts, here we go, of 231443, and that looks good. I also noticed this on another key I was cutting today. It actually did count from the last center. So with that in mind, I'm pretty sure we've found our problem. Confirm. And we're going to cut now. Now I'm using D on this occasion. I put my key in, it's D, and I'm using the shoulder clamp just as I've plotted. So I think that We should even give that a little wipe. And let's start. Let's see how it cuts. So sensing the key blank height. Yep, straight off the bat I can see that that is a lot better. If you're looking at those cuts now, they're in laser formation. If you can put it against the bench there, you can see it. So we should be looking at 231443, and that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to slide in there, cut the other side, and give it a test in the lock. A little hard doing it with one hand. Nip it up, slide it back. Tight. Okay, start. So, to be fair to the program, it looks like it does work, and it was my error for trying to plot it same as other key machines, and it works differently. When I was actually plotting this, there was little help files all the way along, but it didn't actually say anything about that. So it would have been nice if it had just had a little, you know, a few notes there. Even things made in China always come out with a little, you know, notepad readme file. So they could have done that. But as long as the thing works, that makes me happier. Just put the camera here. If I can put it here, there we go. Right, so there's my key. Will it work? Goes in, and it's turning perfectly. Okay, so we've had a success. We've got the key cutting the code, so we've entered in the data and we've got it to work. So our biggest problem from the last time was that we were measuring from here to here, here to here, here to here, when we should have been measuring here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here. And the spacings were correct. The spacings we put in were from the top of the key blank to the bottom of the key blank, not from either side here. So we're going from here to here, sorry, from here basically, you can see it here, from here to here, here to here, here to here, one-sided measurements there, and that all seemed to work. So Codemaker on the Silca Futura is working, and it does work, but it would have been nice if they had put a few more instructions on it, because the first initial test we did wasn't that successful. So yeah, looks like operator error on my behalf first time round, and poor literature on their side. So that's the honest opinion of it, and it did cut a key for what we wanted it to. Now we know the spacing were pretty much good to go to use the program on other things. So I wouldn't mind getting a dimple draw and trying the dimple cuts. I haven't done any of them, but you know, there is that option there, dimple key. So maybe that'll be the next thing I give it a run, and see if I can cut a dimple key from it. Okay, thanks for watching.